Life Leadership with Alex Urbina, right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. This is the kind of show where you can gain valuable insight and a better understanding of life and leadership distinctions to help you access your full potential and become more effective in all areas of your life. And joining me in studio today on the board is Mr. Bryce Thomas. Good afternoon, Bryce.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for being here. And also joining me is my lovely co-host, Wendy Amara.
Hi, Alex.
How are you?
I'm good. Excited to be here.
Did you guys have a great weekend?
Yes. Mine was good. We had friends over, and we kind of fixing up the house, getting more, settled into our new home. So that's fun.
That's great stuff. And you, Bryce?
I slept in a lot.
That sounds like a good weekend.
Alex knows this. My sleep schedule is a lot different from everyone else, so I slept in. But I was working a lot on my projects and stuff, so I got a lot of future stuff going on.
Yeah, you got exciting stuff going on in your life.
You were productive. That's good.
I was productive.
Yeah. And you seem to be very productive in the wee hours of the morning, getting excited, get home from work, and just start on your next job.
Right.
A lot of us, we work during the week, and then we have other commitments that we're committed to. We have visions, and we have dreams, and we want to be entrepreneurs. And we get home, and sometimes we get on the computer, and we can't get off, and we get focused on some of the other commitments that we're looking forward to creating as a result, right?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Good stuff. So today we got a pretty exciting show. Tell me all about our show today, Wendy.
Yes, we're going to be talking about motherhood today and talking about parenting and parenting at a conscious level, really conscious parenting, extraordinary parenting, as you like to call it, Alex. Yeah, being an extraordinary parent. And we have three awesome guests on, three moms, Linda Ortega, Jennifer Herback, and Jamie Bazar joining us. They're going to be coming into the studio in a minute, and they're going to be talking about what's opened up for them being a mom and the challenges and the highs and lows, and get some coaching. So we're going to do some good motherhood coaching and parenting coaching. Yeah. So all those parents out there need to stay tuned.
Yeah, definitely listen in. You're going to want to come back after the break because we're going to get into some deep stuff.
Absolutely. Parenting, it's a big job. It's a big job. So all the information helps, definitely.
That's right. All right, take us on out. We'll come back.
Oh, you're listening to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina right here on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
Hi, I'm Howie Mandel.
I'm Sally Field.
I want to introduce you to a very special place.
Lark Ranch began almost 50 years ago. It was started by a group of visionary parents who were not willing to accept institutional surroundings for their developmentally disabled children.
Lark is a unique facility with a community of individuals who are all special and contributing members not only of Lark, but of the larger community of Santa Clarita.
But they need your help to maintain this outstanding program and continue to deliver to its residents the kind of care that will help keep Lark Ranch operating for another 50 years.
Please give generously.
And let's continue the miracle of Lark.
Explore new worlds. Read. Visit literacy.gov.
Welcome back to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina, right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. This is the kind of show where you can gain valuable insight and a better understanding of life and leadership distinctions to help you access your full potential and become more effective in all areas of your life. And joining us in studio, why don't you share with us who's joining us today? Wendy?
Thank you, Alex. Joining us today are three of my mom friends that I'm very excited to have on the show. They're going to be sharing their perspective and experiences with motherhood. First is Jamie Bazar, and then Linda Ortega and Jennifer Herback. Why don't you each talk about, introduce yourself and how many kids you have and how old your kids are. Go ahead.
My name's Jamie Bazar, and I currently have one son named Schrader, who just turned 17 months, and we have our second C-section scheduled for August 21st.
Wow, that's very close. Yeah.
Very
soon.
exciting news, right? Yeah.
My name is Linda Ortega. I have 2 boys. One boy is, his name is Joaquin, and he is 4.5 years old. And my little one is 15 months. His name is Mateo.
Yay! Great. Jennifer?
My name is Jennifer Herback. I have the girls. I have 2 little girls. One will be 3 next month. Her name is Riley, and Kaylin just turned 17 months.
Nice, nice. Yeah, so you guys have your hands full.
Yes, we do.
Yes, with 2, I know it gets crazy with 2.
Just trying to get here this morning. It took a lot of planning, getting up early in the morning to make sure that everything was taken care of for this 1-hour slot. So.
Right. I think that's been one of the new insights for me in motherhood is that it used to be like I could just get up in the morning and say, okay, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to go do that, and just kind of fly by the seat of my pants, so to speak, be in the moment. And now it's very difficult to do that. I have to plan everything out. I have to think about food, diapers, a diaper bag, who's going to take care of my child if I need to go somewhere.
Naps.
Yeah, like 2, 3 people got to be involved in the situation in order for me to be able to go somewhere for a couple hours. So it takes a lot of planning. Have you guys found that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, especially with potty training.
Oh, I'm not even there yet.
Clothes, making sure there's a bathroom wherever you are. Yes, a whole new challenge.
A whole new challenge.
And I get no help during the day. My husband works. He leaves at 6:30, and he gets back. I'm lucky if by 6 o'clock in the evening. So I have my 2 boys all day and their schedules. So I mean, my schedule goes out the window if something falls through the cracks. So a lot of planning goes into it, especially the day before if something big's going to happen the following day.
Yeah, I can see that. And do you guys find that you might have something planned and then something comes up with one of your kids and that's it? That plan goes out the door?
Yes, and I really appreciate at least when we're doing these activities with other moms because they understand if you have to cancel last minute. But for your single friends that don't have kids and your child wakes up vomiting or your child hasn't gone to the bathroom in 2 days and now she's fighting with trying to go to the bathroom and you can't leave the house, my mom friends understand. My single friends don't.
So that's bringing a new challenge. And how to, life really changes, right? A new perspective comes in that kind of shifts the way you look at everything. What would you guys say has been one of the biggest shifts in terms of how you look at life from before having kids to after having kids? What's been like, kind of a change? I know for me, it was how I valued my time and how I valued money also. The value of time and my finances were different when it was just me and my husband to now having kids. All of a sudden, $1 is worth a lot more and an hour is worth a lot more.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. One thing that's changed, my perspective and things. I used to be a really big shopaholic before. I used to, just indulge because I could. I didn't have anything else to worry about. Our jobs were secure and all of that. And then my boys came into the picture, and it's all about them, not necessarily me spending that money on them, but just more long-term goals. We want to go on vacation next year. We want to do this or we want to do that. And I'm the one, now that I am home, I'm the one that manages all of that. So that's been one of the biggest shifts, and I'm okay with that. I know a lot of people have a hard time, and I think that's where a lot of parents find themselves stuck because they still want to continue living that same lifestyle, and they forget that, now there's these little people that depend on you, that need that structure from you, that guidance from you. So, that's been one of the things.
That's been one of your shifts?
And I don't know if they necessarily forget, it's just a new process that they're going through that they're starting to, they have to start adjusting now, and they have to start thinking about a little one other than themselves, right? So there's a little bit of getting off of being selfish and start thinking about a family and thinking outwards.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's an ongoing process because you just think that you've kind of nailed it down, but you have this person that is growing, so their needs change as they get older. So you need to learn to adapt to that. And right now I have a 4.5-year-old. It's new to me. I've never had a 4.5-year-old, and I have a 5-year-old. He'll be going to school, so that's all completely new to me. So it's always a learning process when you're a parent, even if you're on your 3rd child. The child has different needs, different personalities, different skills. They focus on different things. So it's all a learning process.
Well, I'm glad you said that because from my experience as a life coach in the last 17 years, especially coaching parents, I find my experience of parents is that at a certain point they stop learning. They stop growing and they stop trying to develop the the daddy within us and the mother within us and keep trying to figure out what's missing from me to have my kid win, what's missing from me to have my son or daughter be successful. And when we come back from the next break, I definitely want to dive in a little deeper with that, because I did a little research before we came, and I was typing up motherhood and new moms and what are some of the tips and the advice that they're giving out there. And a lot of it seems to be the doingness. Like, you definitely want to do this, you don't want to do that, and don't shake your baby. And it's all the stuff that you guys are talking about when you go to the Mommy and Me clubs.
Yes.
What I want to talk about is more the emotional stuff. I want to talk about the development and who you guys need to be, and how you get to reinvent yourselves as mothers to be the context and the space for your kids to grow up into and to be solid, confident young adults. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
All right, good. Take us out, Wendy.
So we'll talk about that when we get back from the break. You're listening to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina right here on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
Learn some.
Check it out, man.
What is that?
It looks like someone's belly. Yeah, probably lost it walking on the beach.
Man, just leave it. Let's go.
I think it breaks a little to the left.
To the right.
Nope, straight.
I told you it was going right.
Get up, get up, get up, and be a player. Get up, get up, get up. Get up, get up, get up, and be a player. Get up, get up, get up. Get up, get up, get up, and be a player.
Get up and play an hour a day.
For fun playtime ideas, go online. Just don't stay long.
And welcome back to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina, right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Today's show, we have three, I'm going to call you guys new mothers. Is that okay? We have three new mothers, Linda, Jennifer, and Jamie. One of the questions I want to ask you is, what are some of your fears as a mom? When you think of the fears that come up for you as a mother, and whether you're going to be enough for your child, or maybe even worrying about some of the fears about the world, the way you see it and where it's headed. What are some of those fears? Can you share some of that with us?
Well, I know, and hopefully my friend who's on the air can help us with this one too, but being a mother of one child and now bringing a second child into the world where there'll only be an 18-month gap, I'm definitely anticipating, the juggling act that is going to take place, just because the needs of one child were so great, was such a huge, transition of just my whole world, and now bringing the second baby in, I almost feel like the first baby is going to miss out a little bit. And, although the two are hopefully going to be very closely bonded because they're so close in age, I have a feeling it's going to be really challenging.
So what I'm hearing you say, and I'll do this a lot of times, I'll repeat what I think I'm hearing you say, because I can misinterpret. But what I think I'm hearing you say is that you feel like you're not going to have enough to give equally to both of them. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, or I'm trying to figure out how all the pieces are going to work in that puzzle.
Okay, great. And so having my own three children, both 15, 16, and 21, actually 22, can I share a little insight?
Sure.
Absolutely.
So for me as a father, looking back, what I realize is that you can't get stuck, or you can't entertain that conversation, or you can't entertain that fear, because the more you're entertaining that fear, it puts you focused on what you're not going to give and worrying about what you don't have, rather than just giving everything you got. So if you just focus on being a mom and focus on just loving and just focus on giving, you won't put it into the space. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
It's just deciding that you're going to be the best mom you can be, and just every day get up with the intention to just give. So I'm going to give to baby A, and I'm going to give to baby B, and today I'm just going to have enough, and I'm going to be plentiful. I'm going to give it all.
It takes time to get to that point. My little one's 15 months, and I initially, my 4-year-old or 3.5-year-old at that time, he took a back seat, and it took a few months to, just kind of settle into the routine and all that, and just kind of accept that things were not going to be like I thought they were. You know, I was going to be home and be able to divide my time equally, and it's kind of like whoever's needs mattered most at that moment, even if it included mine now, because if I was hungry, I needed to eat, they needed to wait, because mom was not going to be able to be there for them if, you know, if I wasn't meeting my own needs. So now I'm at the point, luckily, I'm very happy actually that I've gotten to this point that I know that I feel that I'm doing enough for them. They are happy, they're thriving, you know, and no, I'm not focusing on the ABCs right now with my little one. You know, we have other issues that we need to focus on, but it takes time. It really does, because life keeps throwing challenges at me one way or another, and my boys, I need to make sure that I'm strong and stable for them, you know, that I get up every morning with, you know, with that intention. Yes, I want to be the best mom. It's always a clean slate for me every day. I dread it when I hear the monitor go off, but once the ball gets rolling, get my older boy out of bed and get him going, you know, now I settle in back into the routine, and I'm on pretty much an automatic pilot at that point. But
Right, but you also, if you really listen to the way you guys are speaking, you're speaking as being and doing, but you don't hear yourself saying it. When you say, I really want to be a great mom, being a great mom isn't doing a great mom. Because when you're doing all the things you need to do in a day, all those doings don't equal up to being a great mom. Being a great mom is being loving, being compassionate, being vulnerable, being sensitive. There's a distinct difference between being and doing.
And I think I do that with my boys. I let my older boy know that I'm having a hard day. When I get upset, you know, we're going through a little phase with him right now, and I get upset and I tell him, it's really hard for me to deal with both of you. There's only two of you and one of me. And I talk to him about it. I talk to him how I'm feeling, that I'm frustrated, that I always love him, regardless if I yell a little bit, that I shouldn't if I yell a little too much, but I do work out my feelings with them, and I let them know that it's okay to make mistakes. Mama makes mistakes. If I accidentally get on him for something that it wasn't his fault, it was actually his little brother, I apologize. I'm okay showing my son that I make mistakes. I want him to know it's okay. I have no pride. My kids, I want them to see that we can get past any little obstacle, and, you know, we can, you know, move forward, you know, just put it in the past and, you know, just keep going.
I just wanted to say something too. I love how, Alex, how you said it's important to be a mom and don't worry so much about the doings of it. I feel like that makes me feel a lot better, because with my two girls, I always feel like I'm not doing enough with my little one that I did with my first one when she was my only child. So it makes me feel so much better, because I know that I'm always loving, and I know that they know how much mom loves them. And in the end, that's really all that matters. And in the end, that's what they're going to remember as they grow up. They're going to remember if mom was there hugging them and loving them and, you know, providing support for them. They're not going to remember if I sat down and read a book, you know, every 2 hours, or
That's right.
Those little things.
That's right. And you're the only one that's criticizing yourself and measuring up that how many doings in a day am I actually implementing, rather than who are you just being. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I've noticed through the years of doing this work and working with children and building people up is what I've gotten clear about is that children, they just want to be recognized through your eyes. They want to be seen through looking at you, see them. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. They want to be seen. And so right now, between the ages of 0 to 7, they want to know who they are, and they don't know who they are. They can only see who they are through the way that you look at them. So in fact, you don't really have to do anything, and you don't really have to say anything. But if you practice just connecting with your kid at a deep level throughout the day, that's going to be enough. And you knowing that you're a loving mom is enough. You're the only one that's putting yourself through this crazy wheel and this cycle that you're probably beating yourself up every day, and you're checking in with yourself, and you feel like there's something missing.
Right. So can you give us an example of that? Like, deep level, what does that mean? Like,
what do you mean deep level?
Like connecting with your child on a deep level?
With
Yeah.
your child
All right. Here's a great example. When you feed your baby, right? You give them the bottle. They're in your arms. Do you ever just gaze at them and they gaze at you, and they're playing with your ear, and you just staring deeply into the eyes of your son or daughter as you're feeding them?
I miss those moments, because my little ones don't take bottles anymore. But I definitely, when they were at that age, I just cherished those moments.
Okay.
But now that they're older,
but those moments are still happening.
They are.
you're acting like those moments aren't there anymore. Those moments have to be created by somebody. Who do you think they're going to be created by?
They're going to be created by the parents. Like I make the time with my older one, and he's my issue. He's always, because the baby, I mean, he's always carried, but my older one, since he's more up and about, I have to make sure to reel him in, come and sit on my lap, let me hold you, let's do this together. I always have to bring him back to me because he's a boy, he's active, he wants to be doing all of that. So with him, I'm trying to create those moments, and with my little one, I'm trying to do that as well. I mean, I hold him, I still smell him. If he's getting, once he's walking, I'm going to be doing different things with him. I try to, since the three of us do spend so much time together, I'm trying to do that as the, you know, the three of us involved as well. So,
and I think the important thing that Alex is talking about is that it's important to remember who we're being at those moments. So even though we're pulling them in and wanting them to sit on our lap and wanting to talk to them and, or look at them in their eyes, it's, are we in our hearts, really in our hearts in that moment? You know, we all have those moments where you're like, oh, how did I get so lucky to have this amazing, beautiful person in my life?
And when you're sitting in that conversation, or when you're in that moment of, wow, how grateful I am that you're my son, you're my daughter, when you're in that moment, you need to let them see that you're in that moment, because those moments are so powerful. Those moments speak louder words. They mean more than the words that you use or the things that you say. And so let's say your child's sitting down playing and they're just in wonder, and you're washing dishes and you see them playing. Stop the dishes and sit on the couch or sit in front of them and just sit there and watch them. Let them see you watch them, and in your wonder, they're going to start to realize how proud of them you are, without even telling them, because you can't explain it to them because they don't understand English yet. They don't understand words. So you just acknowledging them with your eyes only, you don't realize how powerful you are and how powerful that tool is. And the reason why I know this is because through all the trainings that I've done and all the different trainings that kids are crying their hearts out and have all these deep issues and these insecurities, it comes from a lack of knowing who they are, because their parents weren't conscious enough to give them that attention and to see them deeply the way that they needed to be seen.
Alex, I'm really glad you gave that example, because right now I still can really visualize those moments. I'm still nursing my son, and so it's easy to get those very intimate bonding moments, but obviously that's going to come to an end at some point. And I'm glad that just the visual, even when they're little, when they can't quite understand, you verbally as clearly as maybe a 10-year-old, that just watching or playing ball with them or doing the simple things, that's what really can make the difference.
Yeah, that little when you talk about when that little time period, when it ends, it's now time for you to figure out how to reinvent yourself as a mom to keep those moments going.
Yeah.
My son's 22 years old, and I still have those moments with him. I have to stop him, sit him down, and say, hey, let's go water the grass, or hey, let me help you with something. And it's just every once in a while I'll look at him, and he'll go, what are you looking at? And I just tell him, I'm looking at you. And it's every once in a while just sitting and being in the silence and really connecting with people. I think a lot of times as human beings, we kind of mess up the space. We taint the space with words. We think words are important. And a lot of times between ages 0 to 7, words aren't really important, because these our kids are they're feeding off our energy.
Right.
And they're really, that's going to be the way that you're going to communicate to them at your most powerful moment.
So when we get back from this next break, we'll talk more about how to concentrate on the beingness with our children, which is really what they want from us. You're listening to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina right here on your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS.
Passing gas around infants can be deadly. Passing gas releases a toxic fog of ammonia and hydrogen cyanide, which can be especially harmful on an infant's developing lungs. Passing gas can even contribute to sudden infant death syndrome. Kids shouldn't be exposed to secondhand smoke. Don't pass gas, take it outside.
Every year, more than 4 million homeless pets are killed at shelters across America. This number is heartbreaking, and it's very preventable with spay and neuter. Angel Dogs Foundation is a mobile, nonprofit spay-neuter clinic with locations in the Santa Clarita Valley several times a month. With Angel Dogs Foundation, fixing your pet has never been more convenient or affordable. Our spay-neuter service includes a rabies vaccination, as well as a free microchip with registration, plus pain medication and an e-collar for dogs. Financial assistance is available for low-income pet owners too, with some programs offering free spay and neuter to qualified applicants. For more information, please call Angel Dogs Foundation today at 888-504-7729 or visit angeldogsfoundation.org.
If you're a homeowner in California and you're struggling to make your mortgage payment, we may be able to help. Keep Your Home California is a federally funded program that could help pay your mortgage, even if you're collecting unemployment and owe more than your home is worth. Call Keep Your Home California today and find out if you qualify. 888-954-KEEP or visit keepyourhomecalifornia.org.
Welcome back to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Today we have three new mothers joining us in studio today. We have Linda, Jennifer, and Jamie. Thanks for being here, ladies. Do you have any questions that have come up for you in the last half hour that we've been here?
Alex, I have a question actually, especially since I think with the three of us, we're starting with such young little ones. I feel like, you know, we can really mold them into the people that, you know, we hope them to be.
Oh, you're at the best place. You're at the best place right now.
It's a blank canvas.
That's right.
And just speaking from personal experience, I can't actually pinpoint it, but however I was influenced as a child, I've grown to be a very confident person and never really second guessing myself. And you know, I can't look back at my childhood and say it was perfect, but I know that I did grow up with really strong values and a really high level of self-confidence. What would you say are some good tips in making our children confident people as they grow up and enter the real world to be able to fend for themselves?
Well, I think the first thing is always speak into their greatness. Always speak and always point out the things that they're doing that is that makes you proud. And always speak to where you see them at and where you hold them, rather than pointing out the mistakes that they're making. And I'm not saying that making mistakes aren't good, because I think that all my mistakes has led me to be at the place where I'm at. And I'm sure the confidence that you developed came from you making mistakes. We're always going to be making mistakes. But for the first 7 years, if you just focus on what you see their greatness is, they're going to start to see themselves like that. Just same way that they're looking at themselves through your eyes. So as you're constantly pointing out what they're doing that's right and that's giving, and the things that are making you proud, and the things that are taking them to another level, all you're doing is you're building them up. So that canvas that you're creating, that blank canvas, is now you're reinforcing these positive beliefs. Mm-hmm. Because as you start to say certain things, whether you mean it with ill intentions or not, they're already going to start their own process of creating these self-limiting beliefs that they're not worthy, that they're not smart enough, that mommy doesn't care. And here's an example. Your son or daughter comes in and starts writing on the wall, and you come around the corner and you grab the crayon, you go, no, give me that. And you take the crayon away. And your child either starts to cry or sits down and makes a pouty face. In that moment, all you said was, no, give me that. But what she heard was, stop doing that. You're not good enough. Or she or he will create a belief that mommy doesn't like me or mommy doesn't care. So the human brain is already looking for these self-limiting beliefs to see ourselves less than. And you have to be aware of that. You have to be conscious that that's what's going on, that process is going on. So it helps you to start enforcing and reinforcing how amazing they are. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Now, how would you tie that into disciplining a child when it comes to maybe more physical things that, you know, you can't spin quite as positively? Like, for example, today I put my son in a 1-minute timeout because he hit me twice in a row after I said, we show love, we don't hit, and then boom, he hit me again. So, like, just for an example like that, what would you say would have been maybe a more positive way to spin that so that he didn't interpret that as, mommy doesn't like me?
Well, first of all, what did you tell him when he hit you?
I said, we don't hit. That's unacceptable in this house. Show mama love. Well, he showed love for a second and then whack, hit me again. So I said, that's not nice. You need to be a nice boy. And I said, you're going to go on timeout for 1 minute. And then I let him go over into his little timeout playpen, and he cried. And then, after the clock went to a minute, I went and got him and said, I didn't appreciate you hitting. We don't hit. We show love. And, then, of course, he's all lovey. But, it broke my heart. But I feel very strongly that I don't want him hitting me or other children or, of course, a newborn when I bring a newborn home. So.
Okay, so I'm glad you asked this question, because a lot of the parents that I work with, they're not new parents with that blank slate.
Mm-hmm.
They're already working with teenagers that have these beliefs that are chronic and have been validated over and over again. So one thing that I believe in is that what you focus on, you create more of.
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're focusing on him not hitting, and you keep talking to him about not hitting, what are you reinforcing?
The hitting.
The hitting.
The hitting, right?
Yeah.
But what you like to say is, we don't hit in this family. That's not what we do. We don't hit, and hit is all he hears.
Mm-hmm.
And then you say, we love. Well, he heard one love to 4 hits.
Mm.
So all he keeps hearing is the hitting part. So what I would suggest, it's just a suggestion, that you focus on, what, mommy loves you, and I know you love me. And then maybe you start kissing him and you start to get playful with him.
Mm-hmm.
So he forgets that he hit you, but he's now being acknowledged with the love. Rather than talking about what you don't want and focusing on what you don't want, focus on what you want from him. Because he's still young. And a lot of times the kids will do that. They're not hitting you to be mean. They're over playful. They're kind of, they don't know how to pull back on the boundaries, so they're going to be pushing boundaries. But I think if you focus more on showing him the love and being playful and loving him, when he's showing those moments where he's hitting you, and not seeing the hitting as he's a bad boy or he's already starting to show bad behaviors. How old is he?
17 months.
Okay, 17 months. He doesn't know how to be a bad boy yet.
Right.
You're the only one that's saying that him hitting you is bad. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
He's right now in a discovery mode. So he's going to hit, punch, bite, and do all that. You're the only one that's deciding that's a bad thing. I don't want that to happen. That's just a natural process that he's going through. But you're reinforcing in him that him discovering and playing and doing all that is bad, and that you don't like it. Does that make sense to you? What are you hearing me say when I say that?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought up the biting one too. We haven't got to biting yet, but
Oh, it'll come up.
one of my girlfriends has a biter who breaks skin, and yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to get to that point. So
Yeah, it's a natural process that they're going through. Because they're discovering. They're trying to figure out who they are, what they can do. And a lot of times they're pushing boundaries and they're going too far. And you have certain boundaries where you want him or her to be right within. But if you get overly aggressive about them being out of those boundaries, now all you're doing is reinforcing that they're bad and wrong. And that's what he's going to hear, that he's bad and wrong, and that mommy's upset with me, and I'm a bad boy. That's what he's hearing you say. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And he's creating a belief.
Yeah.
So he's already starting his beliefs now.
So we're going to continue with more of these great questions for Alex on parenting. Right when we get back, you're listening to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina right here on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
Let's get started!
Check out Dances on Main Street each third Thursday of the month from 7 to 11 p.m. in Old Town Newhall.
is life. Art is love. Art is patience.
Am I gonna make rent this month?
How long can I afford to stay here?
Where will the money come from?
The bills are piling up. Something's gotta give.
You may have more options than you think. Discover the Los Angeles County Housing Resource Center. It's a free resource for residents and landlords. Visit us online at housing.lacounty.gov to learn how we can all be at home in the Los Angeles County.
And welcome back to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina, right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Continuing this conversation with three new moms. We got Linda, Jennifer, and Jamie. And just as usual, during the breaks, we always get into these awesome conversations.
We do. Everybody starts asking questions.
Yeah, so let's keep it rolling.
Yeah. Well, I know, Jennifer, you had a good question for Alex.
I did. Do you want me to go with what we were talking about during the break, or ask a new question?
Go with whatever comes up for you.
Okay, well, here's my question and my fear. Because I'm a mom of two girls, and the way that the world works and the things that are on television and the influences in society, I have a lot of fears about my girls growing up, and I want them to be role models themselves. I want them to be leaders and not followers, and I want them to be good girls. I mean, I don't want them to grow up with poor body images. I don't want them to feel like they have to dress in a really revealing manner to get attention. I'm just really concerned about the influences of the world on my girls and how I can help them grow up to be, positive role models to their friends and other people that they meet, but do it in a good way.
Okay, so what's your question then? Because you gave me your fears.
Yeah.
What's the question?
How can I help them to grow up to be good role models and to teach them that they should be confident in who they are, they should be independent, and I don't want them to be influenced by other factors in the world and what they see on television? How can I keep them away from that mindset?
All right, well, let's first break this down for a minute. So let's break down what a role model looks like.
Okay.
Right? A role model, and we can kind of agree to disagree, but we get some things that are probably pretty common. A role model is somebody that's confident in who they are. They don't have to follow certain trends or do certain things to be liked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in order for you to become a role model, you have to have a strong sense of self.
Mm-hmm.
So you should just focus on building a strong sense of self within your girls. Are there two girls?
Two girls.
So, and how do you do that? Who are they learning from all the time about who they are?
Me.
They're learning from you. So the trick here is for you to be a role model, for you to have a strong sense of self, for you to realize and get clear every day how amazing you are and how powerful you are and how confident you are. Because as you start to show up like that, they see you show up like that, and then they adapt that.
That's great.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what makes that. You can't want something for your kids that you're not willing to work on yourself. It just doesn't work out like that.
No, we can't do any of the, do as I say, not as I do kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can read how many books out there they talk about that doesn't work. And there's no magical ingredients. You have to be your own role model. If you want your kids to live a certain way, you have to start working on yourself. And I know that's, for a lot of people, it's kind of like, man.
That's the tricky thing. And I think it's actually one of the big secrets to parenting is that here's the big secret. It's about us and us working on us.
It's the elephant in the room that no one wants to address.
The best thing I can do for my child is work on me and who I'm being as a person, as a human being. If I'm being loving, if I'm in my heart, if I'm being true to myself, if I'm staying present in the moment, if I'm focused on what's working in my life and what I'm grateful for. I mean, if I just stay in a space of gratitude all the time, then she's going to pick up that, oh, things are really good. I should, stay in a space of gratitude.
Now, this is what people are hearing right now. They're hearing, oh, well, I'm already like that. I'm already a great role model. I already live my life with values and principles, so I'm good. See, people think that where they are is the end.
I was gonna say you're never there.
You're never there, ever.
Constant learning process.
It's constant learning, but even people that say that is just a concept. They'll say that to themselves, but yet they'll go back to one more thing, going back to the daily grind and still not designating whether it's a couple hours a week or a couple nights a week to do self-work, to figure out what's my next level, where do I stop? And you don't know how far you can go because you haven't challenged the unlimited possibilities that are available for you to tap into your full potential.
Well, and I love, like Wendy said, you know, as moms, we're givers. We always give, give, give. We always focus on our kids or focus on our husband or focus on our friends. We're always giving ourselves to others, and we rarely take the time to give to ourselves and help to improve our own lives.
Yeah, that's right. And you don't know how many, now that I started working with Action Family Counseling, I am immersed into this new world of watching some of the teenagers that are slowly killing themselves with drug abuse and alcohol abuse. And when you start to see some of the families they come from amazing families. And you got families that are police officers and sergeants and just good people, good-hearted people. And these kids have these low self-esteems, and they have this certain thing that's missing, that they have to fill this void. And the parents are going, what happened? I've been living my life with integrity and been doing all the right things, and I've been saying and telling them how much I love them. Here's the magical ingredients that a lot of that's missing. Are you guys ready? Mm-hmm. If you had notebooks, I would tell you to open up your notebooks and write this down. But what's missing is that we can tell our kids how amazing they are for 1,000,000 years. And it will not matter until they discover or realize it for themselves. And that's what happens a lot of times in my trainings. I put these experiential workshops together for these kids to go and participate, to where they have this experience of, wow, I can't believe I did that. Or when your son hits a home run for the first time and everyone's raising him up, he's validating through his experience that he's a champion. Does that make sense to you? Mm-hmm. And you can tell them they're amazing all day long, and it's just a theory, it's just a concept. But until they actually experience themselves as being amazing or as being powerful or being confident, it's not the same. Because when you say it, it's just your opinion. But when I say it, it becomes my truth.
And does this happen? Does this mean that they lack goals? Because I mean, that's one thing that, yeah, you can do something saying, I'm going to the gym, I'm going to the gym, I'm going to the gym. But if I don't have like an actual goal, I don't see that I'm making progress. I mean, I can pretty much just stop. Or in terms of, I mean, a child, I mean, they're doing, they're doing really great in school and this and that, but the parents aren't supporting the goal maybe to go to college or anything like that. Is it the lack of not having goals and moving forward, seeing that there's going to be something at the end of them being so great and being so good and being so focused? Or
so why don't we get back to that question when we come back from the break, and Alex can answer that question about goal setting that Linda just asked. Great question, Linda. You're listening to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina right here on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
I teach auto racing, and I like to work on my own cars. Naturally, I like to change my own oil. Unfortunately, many do-it-yourselfers don't always go by the rules.
The good news is, there's a drop-off center near you that will gladly accept your used oil, free of charge, and it only takes a few minutes.
So please, recycle your used oil.
Brought to you by Cal Recycle and the City of Santa Clarita.
The youth project helped me by giving me a second chance and getting my stuff together, getting everything straight. My plans for the future is to go to law school and become a lawyer. I just want to thank the SCV Youth Project for all their help.
I knew she needed help. I just didn't know what to do. So I called the Youth Project, and they provided free counseling for both of us. Sometimes she doesn't want to talk to me, so I'm grateful she has another place to turn to that we both trust.
Well, the Santa Clarita Youth Project has helped me in many ways. Emotional support with my family and free counseling and great advice, and they're always there to help you, and they're real upfront and honest with you. And they're good people, and it's nice to have good people who care about you.
Hey, guys. Ooh, I've been looking for that. Has Legal seen this?
Yeah. Cheryl, what happened to your,
Oh, yeah, I know. If it gets any worse, I'll have it checked out.
worse? How could it get worse?
Yeah, maybe we should call somebody?
I'm fine. You wouldn't ignore this, so why ignore the signs of a stroke? At the first warning signs, call 911 immediately, because time lost is brain lost.
Isn't our board op, Ethan, doing an amazing job
He
today?
is. He's doing a phenomenal job. Congrats.
You're doing a great
the
job.
The
Ethan.
interns
You're listening
taking
to
control.
Life Leadership with Alex Urbina right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. And we have in studio 3 new moms, Linda, Jennifer, and Jamie. And before we went on a break, you had a question for me. You want to ask that question again?
Yes, it was regarding the situation that you said that you've learned through your workshops, that that there's these good kids that come from really good homes, that they still have this void. And I was wondering if that void has to do with them not having any goals set, nothing to look forward to, or they're not working towards anything. Do you think that's what's attributing to them having that void, or is it something else?
Let me tell you why. Because a lot of the kids that I'm noticing that do have behavioral issues or problems or addiction problems or whatever it is that's not setting them on the path to being successful, a lot of them are super and overachievers. They're, been in sports for 12 years or academic, and they're super overachievers, and that has nothing to do with them not knowing how amazing they are. Knowing how amazing you are is what fills that void. And so earlier you asked the question, like, how do you get to that? How do you create that for your kids? And my answer is you have to learn how to be a coach as a mom or a dad.
Ding,
you have
ding, ding.
You have to learn the art of coaching. And the art of coaching is asking people questions. A lot of times as parents, we want to tell our kids the answers, or we want to tell them what they're not doing right, or we want to tell them how to do it better. As a coach, when you ask questions, what are you forcing the other person to do?
To look within themselves and answer.
That's right. And when you look within yourself and find an answer, and you hear yourself say the answer, what are you realizing?
That, I mean,
You're doing
the
it right
truth,
now,
yeah.
because I just asked you the question.
That you don't know, or I mean, or
I
at
can
least,
ask you questions to get you to give me answers that are going to be amazing.
Okay, for example,
Well,
can I?
Can you what?
No, I was going to say for example.
Oh, here's
I think what he was getting to was that when you do ask and they do answer, it validates within themselves that they are doing
That's
something
right.
correct.
Here's an example. I want you to tell me how much you love your kids.
I adore my kids. I would do anything for them. I mean,
So how great of a mother are you?
I honestly think I'm a pretty good mom. I really do. I know I'm not perfect. I've accepted that, and I think that's the part that makes me pretty good. That I know that I can't do everything right. I can't do everything based off a textbook, whatever you're reading online. So I'm not trying to meet those expectations anymore. I'm just trying to be the best I can for my kids. I'm trying to work on myself as well, trying to figure out, try to get myself motivated to get them motivated. So,
So in one word, how can you sum up you being an amazing mom?
Ooh, wow.
One word.
Can I throw one out there?
Sure.
I'd say present. Being present all the time with your family, with your kids.
Okay, so all I'm doing right now is asking you guys questions. And as you guys start to dig within yourself and find those answers, and you actually have to say it out loud, you hear yourself say it. And when you hear yourself say it, you start to realize who you are. And that process is what coaches do, is we open up possibilities, and then we ask you questions that you're not willing to ask yourself. And when I do that, you're now starting to discover and grow and reach and stretch, and you start to take yourself to the next level.
And you discover you already have the answers.
But
you
it's
already know
scary.
the answers.
It's scary trying to figure out.
Okay, scary is a whole nother show. I never said it wasn't not going to be scary. But remember, if it wasn't scary, everybody would be doing it.
Correct.
Well, and there's growth in the scary, right? That's where you grow, when it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, outside of your comfort zone is where you're going to get your most growth.
Correct.
And outside of your comfort zone, it's going to be scary. And we call that place your courage zone. Where it's scary, you're going to have to muster up the courage. I want to thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for being here and being in contribution and being willing to be open and sharing and really kind of digging deep and discovering. I know that for me, you guys have been a gift for me today, and you've been a light in my life for today. So thank you so much for that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for coming, guys.
Yeah,
thank
for sure.
you. I know it's tough when you've got little kids at home to make time to get here. So thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. Yeah.
Our pleasure.
All right, so you're listening to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina, and we're here every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. So thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for The Real Side with Joe Messina right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.